A Board of Education chairman resigns after voting against the Pledge of Allegiance. According to the Republican American, Josh Adams threw in the towel after the board in New Hartford, Connecticut, voted yes to beginning each meeting with the pledge. Adams says he does not pledge allegiance to anything. This comes after a nearby selectman created controversy for taking a knee during the pledge, as you may remember. And New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's free college program isn't making the grade, rejecting nearly 70% of the applicants. The liberal Cuomo initially said 940,000 families would qualify. It turns out a little more than 20,000 students actually got the scholarship last year. That's only about 3% of the state's college students. Critics say there are simply too many restrictions for students to qualify. Rob?
Okay, Democrats racing, I should say, to regain power in Washington as the media has been talking a lot about the possibility of impeachment.
Are impeachment proceedings now more likely than ever?
Should that trigger the start of an investigation in the Judiciary Committee that could end up going to impeachment? Impeachment.
But could talk of impeachment backfire on the Democrats and actually help the GOP? Here now to debate that is Democratic strategist Chuck Rocha and Republican strategist Ashley Hayek. Guys, thanks for coming on this morning. Chuck, I want to start with you. Nothing would probably motivate Republican voters to get to the polls here in a couple of months more than the idea that their president might be impeached if Democrats control the House and Senate. Right?
That's right, and Republicans know that. We've got a problem with off-year elections in the United States. My firm's been running elections for 20 years, and what you have in an off year is you have just the bases of both parties that show up to vote. So both parties need to get new people to show up. Luckily for Republicans, their voters normally show up at a higher rate than Democrats. But because of this off-year election, because of Donald Trump, there's a new energy out there. So you see the media, you see even Republicans talking about what they think the Democrats are going to do. They're trying to do everything they can to motivate a new group of voters who normally don't vote in off-year elections to show up, and this is exactly what's happening here.
All right. Ashley, how funny is it that, I mean, we've heard Maxine Waters and a few others screaming about impeachment, the fact that they could be doing themselves a disservice and a great favor for the Republicans. It's endlessly interesting, isn't it?
It is, and you'll see a lot of Democrats are actually trying to avoid talking about impeachment because it doesn't poll well. In the recent Quinnipiac poll, they showed that Americans are who supported impeachment is actually down 10% since January. But the Democrats don't have anything else to run on. They're completely anti-Trump and in favor of impeachment. They can't win the economy because GDP is growing at 4.1%. They can't win African Americans because unemployment is at a record low. They can't win women because unemployment is at a 17-year low. And their leadership is all over the place. One day it is Maxine Waters, and the next day it's socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And if we learned anything from Newt Gingrich in 1998, he actually ended up losing seats for the Republicans in the House when he continued the rhetoric of trying to impeach Clinton.
Right. All right, let's look at some numbers here. This is the number of times that impeachment was referred to on the big Sunday morning shows. The number is 41, and there's the breakdown right there. NBC said it 22 times, ABC 12, Fox even said it 7 times. A big goose egg for CBS. Chuck, what did you think of that? And do you think it's being over-discussed, over-analyzed, this possibility of impeachment when Bob Mueller's not done yet and we haven't really seen much against the president yet?
Well, Ashley brings up a great point about Newt Gingrich, and that was during the impeachment time of Bill Clinton. And you saw his numbers continue to rise as people were attacking him. I think people haven't forgotten that. As I run campaigns around the country, all of my candidates are talking about not impeachment, but saying let this investigation play itself out. If that's the conversation that needs to happen, let's have that conversation. But the TV and the bases out there and people who have to sell advertisements are out there saying this is exciting things that don't happen once in a lifetime. Donald Trump, whether you love him or you hate him, is very unique. He's very good for ratings, and people out there talking about all the salacious things that could happen on either side of the aisle on this issue.
Ashley, you know, last week, the president of the White House had a terrible week. It was probably one of the worst they've ever had. You had Manafort convicted on 8 out of 18 counts, and then you had this Cohen situation where he gets the plea deal. But none of this, at this point, depending on who you ask, gets back to the president. We've talked to a lot of analysts that say even Cohen insinuating that the president told him to make these payments, it's not illegal for the person that's running for office to spend a lot of money to try and silence people to win an election. So is this overhyped at this point? I mean, we still haven't seen much, if you ask some lawyers, that touches the president.
Again, if we look back at the polls, a poll just came out, a Wall Street Journal poll that showed that his approval rating is holding steady, to Chuck's point as well. And also, I think there's a lot of distrust amongst, the investigators of this. And so the combination of Americans' distrust of the FBI and the investigation, as well as how well our economy doing is what this president is actually doing in terms of his policies, you're going to see people who are going to want to keep things going the way they're going.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time this morning. It's interesting to hear all this discussion, and we're still waiting to get the final word from Bob Mueller. We appreciate your time.
Have a good morning, Rob.
All right.
Thank you.
Time is now 54 minutes after the hour. Watch this man out shopping. All's normal until he spontaneously erupts into a cloud of smoke. Look at that. What sparked that fiery explosion? Yikes. Look at his leg.
And don't drink and ride. It's pretty funny.
Never a good idea, I tell you. Never.
Biting the dust, drunk on a horse. You got to see it coming up.
There might be a country song like that.
'Cause I saddle up my horse and I ride into the city.